Hey, welcome back. Got another dad thoughts video to share with you. And today's video deals with a phrase that I read back in, it must have been around 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. And it was a very simple, short sentence. And basically it said, "Your son will follow your example, not your advice." And man, I read that. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Very simple sentence, but there's a lot of power behind it because when I look back at my life, it was true. I was like, wow. I remember many times getting amazing advice from my dad, best advice ever. It all made sense. It was all good advice, definitely true. However, subconsciously, what I realized later on, I didn't follow his advice. And without me realizing, I followed his example and I became very similar to him. I mentioned that in another video. A lot of similarities there. And it was based on that. I mean, you're not looking to do things, but you just see these patterns, these habits, these behaviors, and you just turn out copying them later on in life. So when I read that, I realized just how true it is. I mean, I share that with a lot of my friends, new dads, things like that. It's like, keep in mind when you're being a dad, your kids are following exactly what you're doing. You may not talk about it, right? But they realize they're watching you. They're copying everything you do. They're either copying it in small details now or in big details later on in life. So when I realized this, I said, okay, I got to set the good example. That's true. But I'm going to pair both things. I'm going to set the good example and I'm going to give the good advice, right? Because there's no point in setting a good example and your kids don't know why you're doing things. So, hey, let me just back this up and take advantage of the situation. So that phrase, very powerful. Now, rules that I apply to my life, I believe that you should have a strong mind, body, and spirit connection, right? So, body, right? What am I talking about with that? Okay, I'm not a physical specimen, right? However, I do try to stay in shape. I do things. Sometimes I slip up, I catch myself slipping, and get working on things again, start exercising again, watching my diet, doing different activities. I think that's very important in life. I don't think it's good to be, having a sedentary lifestyle. I think it's good to get out there, right? Some people more than others, but you should be doing something. Mind. I go down these amazing rabbit holes all the time, right? I love it. I like to read or I like to research different things. And my wife knows different topics. I'll just go on and on and on. And I think it's good to expand your knowledge. And my kids see me doing that. So very rarely will they come up and stump me. They'll ask me, "Hey, Dad, have you heard about this?" Could it be the latest meme or World War II? There's something there that I can say, yeah, I know about that. Is it this, and this? And we can discuss things. I think it's good to, constantly be learning. So there's your mind. And then spirit, I have my beliefs, right? And guess what? I share them. And I tell my kids why. Why are we doing this? Dad, why are we going to church on Sunday? We're going to church on Sunday for this reason. Here's where we were. Here's where we are now. This is my faith, and we share it. And we're going to go in there and we'll talk about it. And I think it's good to have a balance between all three. Not all one way or another. Have that balance. And there's the key. I'm out there getting it physically. I'm out there getting it mentally, and I'm out there getting it spiritually. And I'm sharing all these things with them. So that's the example I want to set. Now, you may have a different example you want to set. Hey, that's great. But just keep in mind, whatever example you're setting, whether it's on purpose or subconsciously, your kids are picking up on it. So take the time to give some thought to it. What kind of example do you want to set? Because 10, 20, 30 years from now, your kids are going to be a version of you. I mean, I see it now when my oldest son and I talk, and some of the things he's reading, some of the things he's listening to, it's like, Where did you get that from? Oh, well, I heard you mention this, and then I researched that, and now we're on the same page. Like, wow, I did not expect that from a 14-year-old, but he's seeing it. He's seeing it. We go out. I went down my fishing rabbit hole recently. I started surf fishing, and Dad, you should be casting like this because this and this and this reason. Like, when did you start doing that? Yeah, well, when you started fishing, I started researching it. So, I mean, it seems simple, but just know, small details, they're picking up on it. Big details, they're going to see it too, and they're going to live it themselves. So, again, as always, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, leave them down in the comments. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these, hey, by all means, subscribe. All right, thanks.